So, on the last lesson, we learned about reading bar graphs, and today we are going to work on making bar graphs. If you look up at the top of page 593 in your Go Math workbook, it says our essential question is, how does a bar graph help you compare information? Okay, so here we have some food on a table. Do you see that? So we have some food on a table, and let me read the problem to you. There's this guy named Dan, and he's selling food at a soccer game. So Dan keeps track of all the food he sells at the soccer game. He sells all of the food on the table. Make a bar graph to show the food Dan sells. Okay, so here's our table, right? Okay, and he sells all the food on the table. So they already labeled this graph for us. It says food sold at the soccer game. That's the question we're answering, right? We have kinds of food is our label over here, and we see the kinds of food are pizza, hot dogs, and tacos. And then down here we have number of food items sold, and then we have our numbers to go with that. So I'm going to start out with pizza. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of cross off the pizza as we go. Go ahead and do this in your math workbook with me. Again, it's on page 593. So we have pizza. 1, 2, 3. I only see 3. Okay, so I'm going to color in 1, 2, 3. Okay, the next thing is hot dogs. 1, 3, 4, 5. I count 5. Do you guys count 5? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, looks like when I read it, it goes right up to that number 5 line. Perfect. Okay, and then go ahead and count the number of tacos. Okay, my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And yep, when I fill in those 4 boxes, it looks like it gets me right to the number 4. Okay. All right, so we had, it looks like 3 pieces of pizza, 5 hot dogs, and 4 tacos sold. Nice job. Now on page 594, the question says, are there more daisies or sunflowers in the garden? Make a bar graph to find out. Shade 1 box for each flower in the picture. Now for some reason they already shaded a box for daisies. Don't let that mess you up. You still have to shade that when you're doing it. So go ahead and count the number of daisies, and then shade in the number of daisies there. Then count the number of sunflowers in the picture here, and then shade in the number of sunflowers. And then you also need to answer this question. It says there are more blank in the garden. Which flower are there more of, daisies or sunflowers? So fill in the blank with the correct answer. Now down at the bottom of this page, it says, do more children write with their left hand or right hand? Ask 10 friends which hand they use. Make a bar graph. It says hand we use to write with, or writing hand is either the left or the right, and then number of children. Now obviously we're not at school, so you got to ask the people at your house. So go ahead and ask the people at your house what hand they use to write with, their left hand or their right hand, and then make sure you fill in the number of boxes to make your bar graph. Once you've done that, go ahead and answer this question. Which hand do more children use to write? Okay, so which hand did more people use to write? Then once you get to page 595, The question up here says, do children like bears, blocks, or marbles best? Ask 10 friends which toy they like best. I'm going to underline this right here, toy they like best, because that's going to be helpful to you later. So it says, make a bar graph, write a title and labels for your graph. Okay, so before we do anything, we need to make a title and a label over here and a label down here. So since we're asking people which toy they like best, I want you to turn that around and make that into a title. Maybe it has the word favorite in it. Probably is going to have the word toy in it somewhere. Okay, go ahead and write a title that you like right here in this blue box on the line. Then we have to look over here. Okay, so this label is talking about these. These are all types of something. So you're going to write that over here. They're kinds of what? Then down at the bottom, these numbers are not talking about the number of elephants, are they? They're talking about the number of what? You go ahead and write the number of what you think it is on the line. Once you've done your labels, now you do need to go ask some people at your house, do they like bears, blocks, or marbles best? Now, they can either just choose one choice if you have a lot of people at your house, or if you don't have a lot of people at your house, I would go ahead and have them pick their top 2 favorites. So between bears, blocks, and marbles, which 2 are their favorite? Okay, and then go ahead and record your data. How many bears, how many blocks, how many marbles. And after you've done that, making your graph, then you can come answer these questions. So number 3 says, which toy did the most children choose? So circle which one the most people chose, bears, blocks, or marbles. Then number 4 says, how many children chose blocks? Okay, so write the number of children, or people, obviously, who chose blocks as their favorite. Then number 5, use that thinking brain of yours. It says, how are picture graphs and bar graphs alike? Okay, what's a way that you think that they are similar? Go ahead and write it on this writing line, a nice sentence there. If you want some ideas, you could definitely use a device to read this QR code and watch the Math on the Spot video that goes with this question. All right, guys, great job on your math today.